Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to speak about the subject of, do video games make us more violent? There's been a lot of that on the news where people are blaming a lot of the shootings and stuff like that have been happening to video games and violence that we are seeing on television and in movies and a lot of video games, I guess, because you're shooting all these people in those games. But then you gotta also look back and try to see the rest of the world, because at least being in America, sometimes we forget that there's a whole other world that's much bigger, and we look at statistics. And there are other countries that play video games, and some other countries that are even more into video games than we are here in America. Yet there's not as many killings and all that stuff. So can we actually say that video games are bringing us violence? Here in America, there's shootings on a daily basis, pretty much. And there's also kids shooting themselves because they're finding guns in the houses and stuff like that. Whereas you can take a country like Japan, where they play a lot of video games, probably even more than here, because that's just part of their society. That's how they interact. They love all these gadgets and stuff like that. That's how it is. And they only have maybe 10 deaths in not even a year, in 5 years, from gun shootings. And they're not going to be from hate kills. They're going to be from people that are actually legitimately trying to defend other people with their guns, because they're police officers and stuff like that. So these things can happen. But do video games make us more violent? I think it can make us more aware of, or maybe not really aware, but desensitized to violence. Yeah, because we do see it all the time. We definitely have horror films. We definitely have a lot of brutality that is seen even on television, and through all the social media you're able to see a lot of other things that are taking place that maybe before you might hear in a newspaper and stuff like that, but now you're actually able to see it because, well, everybody has a camera, everybody is filming stuff. And it's just so simple. So you're exposed to a lot more stuff, and the internet has opened us to that, which is cool. So we have been desensitized. We're also more knowledgeable about things, but at the same time, I don't really know if it has really made us into a more violent society. I do know that people will definitely imitate things on television and in video games and stuff like that. But again, it goes back to that fact of, why do some societies not have any deaths through gun violence and stuff like that, and then a society where they say you have the right to bear arms because of an old law, the Constitution, has so many deaths? And a lot of them are either people spur of the moment going crazy, or little kids and stuff like that shooting themselves by accident. And I've been, for example, a victim of that. I was living in a place where basically my neighbor was playing with a gun, and he shot through a wall, and it literally just missed me from like a foot or two. It went through the whole living room, that one bullet, and I could have died from that, or some of my roommates could have died from that. And that's where you're thinking, well, that's just crazy. Somebody just had a gun in his house and misshot it, and just because he was cleaning it, playing with it, I don't know what he was doing with it. And that's where you get to a point where you're like, whoa, I could have died for nothing. I could have literally died for nothing. And was that a violent act? Was that him trying to kill me. No, it wasn't. It was an error. It was a mistake. But then you have all these assault rifles and stuff like that that are sold to us just so easily. In some states, they don't even look at your background. They don't care if you have mental illness and all these things. They'll just sell it to you. And then on top of that, when you think that you can get all that stuff anyways pretty easily, and you're able to buy all these bullets and all these things, and they don't even check you on that, then you're thinking, well, it's just crazy. Because if it's a normal thing for everyone to have weapons, well, why would you buy the weapon? It's to use it. So if you're a hunter, if you're hunting deer or you're hunting because it's what you do, that's I guess normal, because that was if you have your hunting license, or if you're just in a region where they do hunting, that's different. But also that goes with the fact that in the old days they used to hunt for food, and nowadays, well, I mean, we can just get food in the supermarket and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird, at least to me, that you'd still have that right to bear arms. There's no sheriff that's going to come to our door, and we need to be able to protect ourselves. And also at the same time, yeah, if you do sell weapons, that's going to make you more violent, because again, you're going to want to use them. Why did you buy it? But if the video game is just a video game, what's telling a story, it's kind of like saying, well, because the news, they show some stuff, or a documentary shows the effects of this war, and you see also, then you can say that everything pretty much makes us more violent. We're seeing people who are drunk, or people that are on drugs, and they do violent stuff. We see accidents. We see, if you've taken the public transportation in LA and stuff like that, you see random acts of violence all the time. And that often comes from the less educated people in some way, sad to say. But jealousy, ignorance usually lead more to violence. So I would say that the violence comes from a lack of education, because and a lack of a system to help people and support people who have problems. So I say, well, if we're going to live in this kind of society, well, at the place of blaming it on at the place of blaming it on the people who just make video games, let's blame it on the people who don't give us medical assistance. Let's blame it on the people who don't help people who are in need of help. And you can see it from all the facts that all these people who actually have gone to war, all the people who have fought all these wars, the veterans, a lot of them are homeless. A lot of the homeless, well, not a lot of them are homeless, but most of the homeless people, a lot of them, a big percentage of them, are veterans who have PTSD and stuff like that. And that's where the problem comes. So if you're able to help these people before they have psychological problems, if you're able to help them before they do something stupid like this, if you don't sell them a weapon that can kill so many people, well, sometimes they just want to be listened. It's kind of like a cry for help. It's like, listen to me. Nobody's listening to me. I'm not getting any help. And that's where you gotta come. And then the ignorance. The fact that they think that killing people will bring something, will make a difference. And yeah, that's where it comes from. Not from video games. And people can play video games as much as they want. Just get educated and don't sell them weapons. And here we go. The solution's there. And also help them with health care and just psychologically. Give them a psychiatrist. Okay, that's it. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.